These guys haven't said anything either.
No. But I imagine you all basically freeze. Like, oh.
Yes. This is a terrible
Leonard,
standoff if I ever saw one.
Leonard kind of looks towards you and says, your cue.
Okay, Kane will put his hands up. You know, he's still holding the gun, but now it's pointed well away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say, welcome to Honey. And he'll just give his most winning smile. One that mother loves.
Just what are you, the welcome wagon?
You could say that. I've come to claim this ship and everything on it in the name of Dupree Enterprises.
To that I'll, tap everyone on the shoulder and raise our guns. Over my dead body. I've already killed 3 scavengers already. No one's claimed this ship over me.
The second man, Leonardo kind of goes, whoa, no need to raise weapons now.
Yes, no need at all.
My friend misspoke. We're not here to claim. We're here to help you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Keep talking.
So what seems to be the problem here?
You have engine problem, and we fix that engine problem.
What makes you think that?
Well, you haven't taken off yet, so... Yes, you haven't taken off yet, so you must have some form of problem.
Keep talking.
I'm an
What do you
engineer.
offer to solve it?
I'm an engineer. I fix things. I also have an obsession with ships, so...
Tell you what, you got a stabilizer?
You're missing a stabilizer? Really? Can you not... You could take off without a stabilizer if you're a good enough pilot. And you see he kind of like leans back and laughs, and he looks to the second man with him, to UK, and he says, "Yeah, this guy, no stabilizer. I can't take off." Yeah, I can get you one.
Well, tell you what, how about we take a nice slow ride in your car, and you show us your stabilizer. How about that?
I can't fit that thing in, and he points to the crabman.
Well, I guess you'll just have to stay behind then, huh?
Yes. Are you citizens? Are you guys from around here? Are you from Halfdan or any of the Halfdan cities?
Afraid not. We're just a delivery crew.
You may need a local guide then.
You see Leonard gives you a bit of a look, Kane, and says, "Oh yes, I forgot you still did that. How is business, by the way?"
Well, it helps secure me in the off months of the year when people aren't buying property.
Well, yes. Oh, of course. The Leonard kind of looks to you now, Jimmy, and says, "Well, yes, of course, you can come with us, but you're gonna have to get yourself papers and stuff like that. I'm Leonard. Nice to meet you." And he gives you a bit of a bow.
What you mean, papers?
Well, the director doesn't like outsiders, so you're gonna have to take a DNA test to make sure you're actually a human, that sort of thing.
I'll just like roll my eyes a little bit at that. Actually, a human. God.
Yeah, we have some mixed races on this planet that she doesn't like. The runners, for example, they're based on human DNA, but they're a bit mixed with a lot of other animals and creatures, and yes. You see, I don't. You said you'd met scavengers, right? You, which scavengers? The red ones or the blue ones?
Memory serves it was the red ones, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. They had red bands on them, if that's what you mean.
Aye, yes. So they were, and he's gonna now make a history check, not a history check, a knowledge check. 11. They are called Tawny Wanderers. They are another group of splicers we have on this planet. They fuse themselves with something called a jellyfish and a dog. Rather
Fascinating,
cool.
really.
Well, we've got to make do on this planet. There's not much natural resources left.
Or light, or sense.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, it's the one planet in the I almost said Kura Independency then. No, it's one of the only planets in the Jilzar Federation that has aliens on the surface. I think they haven't eradicated us yet, so that's that. Anyway, yes, feel free to get in my car. Just leave your weapons at the ship, and we'll all be good.
Now, that's not how I'm thinking it's going to go down here, especially not while we still have more guns. So what I'm thinking, since like you said, my big friend here won't fit in that car, you can stay here with him, and I'll go with your buddy there. We'll fetch the stabilizer, and when we get back, we'll do an honest trade.
Well, I could wait. I know nothing about stabilizers. I couldn't help you get the right one.
I'm sure it won't be that hard. Your car's got a boot there. We could just shove it in. Pick a
I
couple
see.
off the rack.
I see his point. Actually, yes. I'm the knowledge source. I would be more valuable here than out there. And he kind of gives you a look, Kane. You don't look particularly threatening, so I can see why. Okay, that's a deal. Kane, I will send you a picture of a stabilizer on a compad. It's in my shop. The code is 1234.
Oh, same as my luggage.
So just go in. It's in the back left, I think. Yes, maybe. I'm not quite sure where it is. Just have a look in my shop. I'll send you a picture. Go with the strange man and get his papers
Very
then.
well. We'll do.
Alright. So, he'll stay here with Crabman, and then me and two henchies will go with this guy in his Jeep.
Our first place we're going is to get you papers in case questions get asked.
Ah, bureaucracy.
I hope you have some spare credits on you, by the way. It isn't free.
I'll just kind of like give him a glare. You better hope it's a little more free if you want to get some yourself. But I guess I don't really have much of a choice here, so, I'm just gonna see what price they put to it later.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we're driving off. I'd say into the
Yes.
sunset, but it's permanent night.
I love that. Fucking Spaceballs, man. That's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
So, while that is happening, all above one, is there anything you want to be doing?
Nope. I tied myself to a weight and I'm gonna die by it.
Very well.
This is the hill I choose to die on.
Very well. I just find it funny what we discussed in private messages. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah,
You're still choosing to die on that hill, even though.
yeah, I know. It's not the first time a noble has done this to me. in any game.
Right. So, Jimmy Reagan and
Yes, Jimmy.
Kane, you guys are getting into the car together as your friend Leonard walks off with Mr. Crabman to the ship to wait outside while you guys head back to the town.
So is this
Yeah.
ship of yours space worthy?
Sure was a few minutes ago.
Well, I do hope Leonardo and I can help you get it running again. Seems like quite a useful thing to have.
Ah, well, shame it's not mine yet.
Oh, you have it on loan, lease?
No, working for someone else. I'm just the pilot. But I guess everything hinges on me now. Stupid robots. Stupid nobles. Make a quick buck
Hey,
working for a noble. That's what they all said. It'll be easy. That's what they said. Oh, they paid really well. Get that
I can
money.
hear you.
I'll just like look at the two in the back. It's like, don't you say anything. I'm on a rant here. Just one of those days.
It's all about the he said, she said. Little
So
Limp
I got a
Bizkit for you.
question for you.
yes,
Anything weird about the dust on this planet?
the dust.
Yeah, the
So,
dust.
make me a knowledge wisdom check, Kane.
All right, that's no.
Yeah, no wisdom, sorry.
Not too bad of a roll.
6. So when he says dust, your mind first, of course, goes to the what's the word? Fuck.
Fornicate.
Insect. There we go. The planet has a similar to what's the animal? It's an insect that you have plagues of.
Locust?
Locusts. Yes, there we go. Similar to locusts that swarm the planet and like to eat things like metal, but they don't mind eating people. But that's the first thing your mind goes to, Kane.
And that would be the dust would be what's left over after they've eaten some metal or a carbon calcium source.
Yeah, there's a lot of dust left over, and when they are swarming, of course, it does kind of look like a swarm of dust, since everything's black on this planet anyway. Everything's like pitched into darkness except the artificial light.
So describe these locusts in great detail.
Bugs, huh?
They're known
Uh,
as rippers.
so for these rippers, from what I saw earlier of the line that was cut, did that look more like straight sabotage, like a straight cut, or like it's been nibbled off by bugs? In fact, did it look like there was other damage from bugs? Because we were in a dusty storm before, if I recall. Or near one.
So now you're thinking back on it, make me a notice wisdom check.
Okay. Still not that great at noticing things, but maybe this time will be really good. It's 9. That's good.
A 9 is good. You think back to it a little more, and you do remember that the cut was definitely very, very imprecise. And there was a lot of just general, little chunks of damage, little burn marks. A few miscellaneous wires were also cut and nibbled at in the same way. It's either someone's just generally gone in there with a knife and thrown it about, or it could be the Rippers.
I didn't think those guys had the time or ability to sabotage like that suddenly. The robot definitely didn't notice him do it. So I guess they just took advantage of it right after it happened. I guess anticipated it would be the word.
Mm-hmm.
This is me just like saying this out loud to like my new friend who may or may not have been about ready to try to take the ship from me. Literally, like his entire like tone is like changed from like I'm gonna go down with this ship and you're gonna give me what I want to. Oh my gosh, have you heard about this?
It does sound like the white swarms we have could have run afoul of them.
Apparently, there's another ship out in orbit, colony ship. I don't think it's gonna crash down unless something pokes it, but it ain't going anywhere. I guess if these things eat flesh, I don't think that crew survived.
Okay. Hmm. So I'm just gonna roll something real quick.
All right.
Okay. You guys spend some more time traveling along the dust, or traveling along the sand towards the sea. Eventually, you come to what I can only describe as a large gate of sorts. It's a sealed door on the outside of the dome. And do you know, like, when you go to like McDonald's and stuff, how they have the thing outside the little computer that you talk through?
Yeah, intercom.
Yes.
Yeah, you intercom. That's it. I keep forgetting words like that.
It's all cool.
There's an intercom by you, and as the car pulls up, you hear a beep and a click, and a voice says to it, identify yourselves.
Kane Dupree of House Dupree here with an off order to get his papers.
Very well. Enter with caution. With that, another click, and the gate in front of you opens very, very slowly. Inside the gate, you see what I can describe as a sort of workshop. The road goes through the center, and to the left and right of you is a walkway. On the walkway, you can see two men standing in pure white armor, carrying rifles that are currently trained on the car as the door opens. By the end, you can see another man standing off to the side, seemingly waiting for you. The man waiting for you kind of motions with his hand for you to come inside.
He definitely will come inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll gesture to Jimmy. I would
Right.
assume they would have traded names on the way there.
I would assume as well.
Yeah, Jimmy will give you his names. Like, I'm Jimmy. Jimmy Raygun.
As you guys enter as well, the door closes very, very slowly behind you. And you hear the satisfying sound of pressurization, the and as the car stops in between this gate and the gate that leads into the city, the man that was waiting at the bottom, still dressed in the pure white armor and with the white visor, slowly approaches the car and motions for you all to get out.
All right, Jimmy will go ahead and get out.
Kane will also exit the car.
He looks around the ship and says, well, around the room to you all and says, which one of you is Kane Dupree?
That would be me, sir.
You have ID?
And Kane will step forward. He'll hand over his ID.
He's holding his rifle in one hand and kind of reaches out and takes it and slowly inspects. All right, this is real. Okay, I'll take that. So, who are these three with you? Off-worlders, you said?
Yes. And he'll introduce Jimmy and who else is with us?
Two unnamed hench people that we don't know.
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
They come in pairs. But I'll look at the guy in armor and go, yes, that's right. I'm Jimmy. I'm a pilot of the ship that crashed out there. Just trying to do a simple delivery job, and now we just want to get off planet.
So they'll be needing working papers.
Oh, internet crashed. Oops. Alright. Temporary break then, I guess.
Right, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, my internet absolutely shit itself there for a moment. So what was the last thing you heard from me?
He was being introduced to who all we were, and we're trying to figure out who the two in the back were. And we
Right.
decided they were Thing 1 and Thing 2.
They do actually have names. Galba and Vitel. That's their second names at least.
Okay.
Their first names are in Latin, I think, and I can't pronounce them. But yeah, the guard kind of looks you over for a few moments and says, "All right. And where are you from?"
I'm trying to remember. I was just looking at like the home planet, and I don't think we actually gave it a name.
Did you not write it down?
It's not on the note. We wrote down what the name of the religion was.
Oh no, you didn't give it a name. I
Yeah.
don't think.
So I'll just go ahead and for now and say it's like we're from H4.
That's weird. I'll give it a name. Why not? Let's give it a name.
Bob.
Is my internet in general died? Because I'm using my data on my phone now to talk. But I think my internet in general just died. No, it hasn't. Okay, thank goodness.
Oh, good.
Thank world. There we go. Lilac. The name of your
Lilac.
planet is Lilac.
Yeah, so Jim will go. We're from Lilac in H4. You know it, biggest spaceport in the Soul Sector? Or,
It's a fair distance from here. What are you doing on? What are you doing here?
just a delivery job. We did it and we were gonna get out.
What were you delivering to Honey? We don't get off-worlders very often.
Just some medicine, bandages, stuff like that.
You want to make me a talk charisma check there?
At the same time, it is also true. It just lie by omission. And it's not like there's any evidence left either.
No. Well, yeah, no, there isn't. Just to see how much he believes you in general, to be fair.
Alright, so which role did you say?
Talk charisma.
Talk. Hey, I can't talk. Charisma. What did I roll? Wonderful day it is for me.
You can't really see his expression under his mask, but he tilts his head slightly and says, and who are you delivering this medicine to?
Ah, I don't know. That's the captain's business. I'm just the pilot.
Oh, and where is your captain?
Unconscious. Crashing on the ground kind of did that to them. So I'm kind of taking charge at the moment, and hoping I can get the parts to get us out of here.
Very honorable of you. And, this is, of course, Jilthar Federation Space, so I assume you are a crew of all humans, yes?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He just kind of gives you a bit of a nod. Says, right, well, I'm going to have to take a DNA test of you to ensure that you're not hybridized. I don't know if you've heard it yet. Of course, you've only recently crashed on this planet, but we have a hybrid problem, as it were. A lot of people outside of these city walls have been mixing themselves with all sorts of old Earth creatures that survive the harsh conditions that they're under. You just gotta make sure you're not one of those people, you understand?
Yeah, of course. If I'm not pure human, my parents got some explaining to do.
They walk you over to a small computer terminal that is located in the side of the room that has a arm-sized hole, I guess I would call it, at the in the center. He points to it and says, "Put your dominant hand through the hole and grasp the rod at the end. It will only hurt for a moment."
Alright, fair enough. I'll go ahead and put it in, and just kind of settle myself.
Mhm.
And then the arm comes off.
Yeah, you what? What's Dune?
You don't know Herbert West Dune?
No,
Muad'Dib, the spice must flow, traveling without moving,
no.
sandworms.
Also, Griff, Herbert West? You mean the guy from Reanimator?
I'm sorry, I must have gotten completely confused.
I remember hearing something about. Wait, is Dune that one with the kids?
I think
No,
you
that's
mean
Holes, isn't it?
Frank Herbert.
I'm thinking about Holes now.
Herbert West's a Reanimator Dune. Dune Animator.
This is about a guy on it who, from a noble family who crashes on a desert planet or gets stuck there, becomes the religious figure of the entire native civilization, and then rides a giant sandworm over to duel someone to the death for supremacy of the world.
And then when it dies, he reanimates it as like a zombie sandworm. That goes
Sounds
crazy
amazing.
and starts killing people.
I need to watch this then. That sounds amazing.
There's a pretty good movie of it out there.
Yeah, it's only like 6 hours long.
But yes, you grasp this rod and you feel a very sharp, stabbing pain in your wrist, and then it leads up your arm very slowly, as if someone's just taken a knife, stabbed into your arm, and then now is stabbing repeatedly up. Oh, a needle, not a knife. Sorry. It's very precise pain.
Yeah, I just kind of go,
Uh,
ah.
mhm. Uh, you see a screen form in front of basically your face now, which has a similar to a loading icon. It fades, and then you see two eyes kind of pop up, or at least two dots with a line underneath them.
Mhm.
A voice emanates from the computer, and it just says "confirmed," and then it fades. The guard puts his hand on your shoulder and kind of tugs you back a little.
Ah, thanks. Oh, that was easy.
It seems your DNA is at least safe to enter the city. The same procedure happens with the two the two guards that you have with you. They both come out as confirmed. After that, the man in armor standing with you says, "Very well. Final procedure is just a 50 credits upkeep fee for registering you as, I guess I would call it visitors. Yes, visitors to our lovely little town. So, I just need the 50 credits, and then we're all good to go."
Alright. I'll just go ahead and pay 50 credits. I won't hem or haw about it.
Mhm. Uh, the two uh, the two companions. Let me just check how much they have on them. They've got a collective of 300. So yeah, they've got enough. Big yawn. Yep, they've got enough on them, so they are able to pay as well. After that, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a compad, and begins typing very quickly on it. After a short amount of time, probably about 2 or 3 minutes of standing in this room, listening to the humming and whirring of the building around you, watching the guards patrol up and down, and hearing the inner workings of the city, the occasional news broadcast talking about something called the arena.
The arena, this Sunday. Come and see Crabulon.
Crabula. You
Watch as he snips the competition. Alright, I'm done.
you hear a blip come from the computer that you put your arm into. And in the same hole that you put your arm comes 3 small credit card sized devices. Clink to the floor, or clink to the side of the bottom, like with a plasticky sound. The guard reaches in and hands each of you the one that corresponds to you. On it is your home world that you said, Lilac in sector H4, as well as a long string of numbers and code with a picture of you on it.
Right,
This is
visitor
your
ID.
yeah, this is your visitor ID. Do not lose it. If you are ever asked for it by a guard and you don't have it, it goes to one of 2 ways. You either get shot or you get exiled. Let's hope you get shot. You are free to enter the city. Do not cause problems. Do not steal. Do not, follow the law, essentially. And remember, if you see anything suspicious or alien, tell one of us. We'll deal with it.
Yes, sir, I aim to behave.
He gives you a short nod and says, from me, welcome to Half Dandy, the finest city under the director's watch. And he presses his computer again, and you see the door into the city very slowly open with a satisfying noise. The usual sci-fi noise.
Yeah,
As your eyes
pressurized airlock and all that.
are hit with the brilliant light of the city. In front of you now, you see a somewhat sprawling metropolis. I guess I would describe it as of large, towering buildings, advertisements, people. No flying vehicles of the sort, but you can see a couple of driving vehicles.
Right, it wouldn't make
It's
a lot of sense to have a flying car inside of a dome here.
You see a lot of the buildings are connected with like tubes and tunnels, and you can see what you assume is like a public transit system, similar to like a subway, but over what's it called? It's just called the transit system, isn't it? Yeah, it's just called the transit system. That spreads across this little city in front of you. It's nice. And over the radio intercom again, you hear this news broadcast. The arena again, mentioning something about the arena taking place in the next 2 days. It doesn't really say much about any contestants, but it does tell you that the arena is taking place in 2 days. Come down to the auditorium to place your bets and gain riches.
If only I had a war bot I could throw in and get free money from.
But yes, the guard looks to you and says, "Well, return to your vehicle and please move along."
Right, you're driving.
All right, he will take us. Where did we want to go in the city again now? To get you your parts?
That's
You
right,
want,
wherever your boss's place is.
you
Okay, yeah. We're
wanted to
giving
go
you the
to
instructions.
you wanted to go to Leonardo's shop.
Okay. Well, then we will definitely go there.
So you spend some time driving through the streets of this quote-unquote city. The people here are your standard Julthar Federation people. Very clean-looking, white hair, dermal skin implants to make them look prettier, that sort of thing. And the streets follow along suit. You can see a lot of robots patrolling around the town, cleaning up the street, cleaning up the roads, and generally traffic seems rather well. People that you pass seem happy, quote unquote, or just content in their existence here. Um, Jimmy,
Yep.
as someone who spends, I guess I would describe Jimmy as a bit of a grease monkey. He spends, time driving. He's seen a lot of not very particularly nice people. In his own world, he wasn't living in a particularly rich environment.
Right.
You would probably describe this place as rich. There's a lot of whiteness, a lot of very clean streets, very clean buildings, and very just happy people. There's not
Or
really any
as my
sign of
anarchist contemporaries might say, bourgeois.
is that the right word for it?
Uh, bourgeois would mean, like, middle class.
Yeah, very, very middle class. Yeah. The car, slowly chutters through the streets before stopping at a very quiet side street, I guess I would describe it as. The buildings here aren't too tall, and you can see a couple of like shops and garages, sorry, um, lined up along. The car is stopped outside one called Leonard's Tech Shop. Sorry, Leonardo's Tech Shop. It is closed by what you would. It's just a garage basically with a number pad locked to the door with bleeping on it. Please enter code.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep. With that, the door quickly opens up, revealing inside a workshop filled with all sorts of tech scraps, abandoned projects, computers, broken pieces of hardware, that sort of thing, scattered all over the place. I guess you're gonna just go and search straight away, aren't you? Or unless Jimmy's gonna do anything else while he's there.
Yeah, Jimmy's just gonna go, alright, you two just kind of, you take the door, you can come with me, and we'll be good.
Kane will start looking for the device. He's been given instructions on probably where it is and what it looks like, so he'll go straight there.
Roll me a notice wisdom check then, please, with a +2 modifier.
We're just the kings of seeing things today, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that, is there?
I guess I could always have a look.
I mean, a 4 isn't terrible. You spend some time, and of course, you're not exactly a tech savant, so you're not exactly sure what you're looking for, and unfortunately, you don't manage to find it. Nothing bad happens, you just don't find it.
I don't suppose I could have a chance at it.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Same bonus?
Yep.
Right, notice wisdom +2. Let's see if I can do better than 4. I can do double that. Like, hold up. Let me take a look. It should be right over here. It's one of these things.
You wade through the sea of scrap metal, broken computers and devices, and eventually reach a large metal cylindrical object that's buried at the back corner of the workshop. You just basically walk over, pick it up, and turn it over in your hands and compare it to the picture, and it's pretty spot on. The picture had a bit less rust, however, but yeah, this seems to be the one.
Alright. You have any idea how much your friend sells these things for?
You can make a knowledge test to see a knowledge intelligence.
All right.
Heck, what's your friend to you anyway? Is he your boss? His guard?
Just a friend. I have lots of friends. Knowledge, intelligence, you said?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep, knowledge, no intelligence, yeah.
Oh, that's a 5.
You're probably sell a stabilizer anywhere between 200 credits and about 800 credits.
Those say that 200 to 800 credits, depending on the make, model, and the history of the device.
Well, I'll have to show it off to our mechanic to see what he thinks about that. But if it fits, then, oh, guess gotta trade.
Well, this is a moment in the Bioware games where they say the NPC wants to talk to you. You can
It's like
see
I'll
it in
click
his
the
face.
button, it's like, hey, what's up?
Are you guys smugglers by any chance? I'm not going to tell anybody. I just want to know.
You don't exactly seem all that upright yourself.
Well, you've seen the conditions I live in.
Well, the rest of this place is nice. This shop is maybe a little grimy. That's nothing too disappointing.
You know what I mean.
So what you thinking? You want to smuggle yourself off planet?
What a nice suggestion. I would definitely take you up on that offer.
Well, tell you what. I think we might have room, especially if we kick off a indignant robot. Well, he's not taking up all that much space or power or food or oxygen anyway. You haven't double-crossed me yet. In this deep end, with that kind of security out there, I don't think you're going to. This place seems pretty strict, and they wouldn't like, anything nasty happening.
Right. And
There
I
we go.
promise I'll tell you more if we get off the world. You deserve to know a little bit, at least.
Oh, at the very least, then, tell me straightforward, what were you and your friend gonna plan to do on your way out here? What were you two thinking?
We were hoping there are no survivors.
Hmm.
And we were just going to scrap the ship for parts and become rich.
Fair enough.
But now that you're alive, that complicates matters, and we're here to help you now.
Well, you don't seem too bad after all, so... And, well, you put up with me ranting for about a 2-hour trip. Well, that's 2 miles, like, that's 10 minutes. You put up with me for like 15 minutes. That's honestly puts you as good in my book.
You're not that hard to get along with, I don't think.
Well, if we can get the ship flying again, I'll get you off planet.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we gotta drive back, huh?
Yes.
Unless there's anything else you wish to do while you're in the city.
Unless, like, his dark past, like, starts seeping up through the cracks to chase us out or something.
Hope not. So let's drive on back to where the ship is. No.
Alright.
And she died with a broken heart.
So I guess all of one, you're not doing anything during this time.
I mean, I'm probably I'm probably doing a lot of stuff, just nothing of particular interest.
I wonder if you've even noticed if the crab has, like, come back in with a hostage or not.
I didn't because I didn't know that happened.
No, he hasn't gone inside yet. He's the crabman's still waiting outside the ship, just
Okay.
kind of pointing his gun at the dude while he sits there trying to pick apart his biology and figure out what the hell he actually is.
No, but I mean,
Not the decision I would have made, but I'm not there, and I'm not him, so...
yeah, I've probably been going around repairing systems in the very small corridor and single room area that I've designated as a secure zone. So, you know, radio, computer, lights, doorways, ventilation, removing sand from the hallway and room.
Mostly everything's still intact. The issue is just most systems don't have enough power to turn on.
Right. You know, I'm inverting the tachyon pulse and deregulating the oxidizing couplers.
I actually
Reverse
have
the
a tech.
polarity and everything's good.
Yeah.
I have a techno bubble generator. Hold on.
Oh, I'm just coming out of the top of my head, trying to do the best I can. That's why there's slight pauses between my words.
I'm terrible at techno bubble.
If we
Surprisingly,
scrutinize the dilapny relay, then at least we can open up a subspace wormhole to get us home.
Yeah, I'm inverting the flux regulators on the diatride capacitors on the radio subsystems so that I'll be able to extend the communication broadband spectrum and be able
If we
to
just
Just make-
overcharge the Rose-Einstein bridge, we can have the microwave up and functional in no time.
yeah, it might even turn into a time machine. I like bananas. I think that's a niche joke that only a few anime fans are gonna get.
Yeah, that one went over my head.
Oh,
Yeah,
Steins Gate. Steins Gate, the microwave is a time machine.
I still thought it was funny though. So right, so I guess you're heading straight back then.
Yep. While the arena does sound fun, I'm really short on cash, especially if I gotta buy this thing, if I'm going to be a upright and honest person after all.
Are
And
you
not
short?
just use my guns and be forbidden from this planet and maybe this entire confederacy for the rest of time. And I'm also terribly injured, so the idea of maybe doing a one-on-one fight in an arena for money is also not that great. If only I had someone else.
You
And
do.
not like two noble goons.
His name is Kane.
Kane, what have you told him about the arena? If anything, actually. Actually, have you asked about the arena? That's the thing, Jimmy.
You wouldn't have said anything without being asked.
Not in particular. Mostly because of the focus on the potential situation that I'm still in.
Okay. So we without skipping over too much, there's not exactly a whole lot going on in between the city and the ship. So we will skip forward to you guys arriving back at the ship, finding Mr. Crabman and the technician standing outside. Currently, you can see that the Leonardo is trying to talk to Crabman, and the Crabman, of course, probably isn't responding because he hasn't exuded any ability to speak, as it were. But the car pulls up very quickly, and you guys stop and get out. And Leonardo turns to you all and says, "Hi, you're back. Did you manage to find what I sent you to get?"
I'll go ahead and like hold it up and shake it a little bit. It's like, got one of them right here.
Yes. That is the one. Although I spent a bit of time analyzing the ship, and it's going to be a tight fit. It's not the same make, although it's around the same age, hopefully. How long have you had this ship?
Me? It's not even mine.
Oh, do you know how old it is?
Judging from what I've heard, probably has had a long service. This is its decommissioned life.
Hmm.
It's a bunch of rust buckets, I'll tell you that.
Well, these old ships tend to have a lot of useful nooks and crannies in them. I wouldn't waste the opportunity to get on one of these, you know. But anyway, our first priority comes to the stabilizer itself. Of course, I'm not going to give you a stabilizer for free now. What do you have in offer for me?
Well, I got some credits, and your friend here was lowballing this at about 150, I believe.
150. Hmm. That's not a bad offer. You said, but sorry.
But your friend brings up an interesting thought. If there's anything that maybe you want taken off planet or sold elsewhere, we got some cargo space. And if you nick a little bit of this off the top, if we knock a little bit off the charge for that, maybe we could do a little bit of shipping for you.
How much cargo space does it have?
Well, we just emptied out the whole hold, so we should have insert number here.
Oh,
I
I've
gotta like
listed it
double
before.
check.
I think it's
Like
20,000 tons or something like that.
It's like
Like
4 out
four.
of 10 mass, I think.
Like 40
So it's got
units.
like 6 free. And I think that's supposed to be the cargo space, right? The empty mass?
Mm-hmm. Like 40 units.
Yeah, so I'll say like about 40 units. That's about what we were hauling already, and we squeezed in a little more past that.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. That's not a bad offer. How about this? I'll I'll give you the stabilizer for 50 credits. And we can talk about this trade deal of carrying trade goods to other places. I have quite a lot. And in fact, I have learned something interesting from your conversation, that is, in the car. I'm sorry to tell you, I have bugged the car. It is my car, so of course I have recording devices. You said you picked up a transmission of a floating ship, right?
That we did. I think it's come to the same kind of, rippers that we did. But it's in a stable orbit.
Would you have any transgressions of maybe picking the rest of the ship clean?
Well, if no one's lived through it, then I don't see a problem. If anyone has, then we're gonna put a small priority on making sure they're safe, and maybe that they land and don't die.
Oh, of
But I
course.
assume that there's not a whole lot left for them to work with ship-wise after they land anyway. I have a feeling they intended to come here and colonize.
Of course. Well, how about that then? 50 credits, and you can take a share of the colony ship if there's not anything left of it.
While I'm not the captain, you got yourself a deal.
Hmm.
And I will go ahead and transfer 50 credits over, thus losing all money I've gained so far. Once
Oof.
again, I am dirt broke. I started the game broke, I'm broke again. Start from nothing, go back to what? Nothing. Well, have you lost? Nothing. But I
Hmm.
gained a stabilizer.
At that point, the scientist does look to you and says, Kane, we should probably go inside with them. I don't feel comfortable standing out here for too long while they, fit the stabilizer.
Logs are still around here, I think. So let's just go ahead and get inside. We'll discuss further.
Mhm. The crabman gives you a bit of a nod and walks over to the door and rips it open.
Thank
So,
you.
all above one, where are you at this time?
Same place. I mean,
Oh, just in.
generally, I'm in the room or the hallway leading to the room. I'm leaving no entry positions behind me that anybody could sneak past.
Hmm.
So, as far as the first door, past the room.
Okay. I'm going to somewhat just say, so you can explore a little, that your lovely friend Vespasia has told you to go and make sure the rest of the ship is safe. Just so you don't have to, you know, dig yourself into that hole of standing here and not interacting with anything.
How long ago did she say this?
She would have said this when everyone left. So you've probably been exploring.
Alright, well. I have then probably started a complete shipwide search for holes in the hull and other you know that thing that they do in like movies, like you get trapped in a cave and you like light a match or something to see where the smoke is going to for holes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we're in a pressurized spaceship, so if there's a leak anywhere, differentiations in oxygen levels and airflow is going to lead me to holes to the outside. So I'm going to search for those first. Of course, I'm still going to do this in a room by room. hallway to hallway search, starting from the radio room, which Vespasia is holed up in, to ensure that, again, nothing gets behind me. And then I'm going to spot check every single room for heat signatures, residual or otherwise, to ensure that nobody has been hiding in any room for a specific amount of time. Because even if they're not currently there, they will leave a residual hit signature wherever they touched.
Okay. Make me a notice
Rolls a 2.
intelligence. Yeah, notice intelligence check. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've interacted with this shit. Notice. Submit. Intelligence.
Okay.
Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. I don't think I am.
Okay. So you spend some time searching through the ship, going through every room single by single. In general, the only crack is the slightly ajar. I say slightly ajar. It's like a millimeter ajar entrance port, but that's just because it's been manually closed by hand. It can't be airtight sealed without a computer.
Entrance port. You mean the airlock?
Yeah.
It's the only entrance?
Well, there's two airlocks on the ship, one on either side. The one that's buried in sand is still airtight. The one that isn't buried in sand is not as airtight, I guess.
Well, no, I was asking because if there was another entrance that was still viable, I would seal this one shut. The concern there is the dust that eats people.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, these idiots don't care about that, so I don't care.
By the time you get to the reactor room and you see the small boy climb out of the reactor itself, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, robot, you're here. I thought you were moved. Why? Can you give me a hand?"
I guess that doesn't break my orders.
Ah, right. You see, there's a bit of an issue I'm having with the main power line again. I need some scrap metal. Have you got any, or can you find any for me?
What's around me right now? I'll just grab a door. I'll rip a door off its hinge.
I'm not even going to make you roll strength because you're more than strong enough.
Well, the problem there is that even if I wasn't, all I need is like a minute, and I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, you can rip through ship holes. I love it. Yeah, you just kind of reach over, pull a door off its hinges with a very loud, all the loud creaking and banging that it would produce. And he kind of gives you a look. It's like, okay, that works. Can you just cut that up into really small bits for me? I can't use a whole door at once.
Specifics.
Like, and he like holds his hand up into like a general size of about twice the size of a mobile phone.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because again, I've got built-in cutting torches and river bars, so.
Yeah. So during that time, when you've got to that point, and as you're cutting open this door, the party has arrived back at the ship. You can hear the creaking of the door opening, and you look back and you see Crabman and friends enter the building.
You mean ship?
Ship. Yes, that is what I mean. Followed by our lovely friend Jimmy Raygun and Kane Dupree. So you notice two new people with them. Kane and Jimmy, I guess first port of call for you guys is going to be heading straight to the reactor to start getting the stabilizer fitted, isn't it?
Right. That makes sense. I need to deliver this to to our mechanic and then see if everything is going all right, and maybe tell him about the existence of the Rippers, and to maybe look and see if there's more damage around the engines like that might interfere.
Hmm. So,
Why didn't they answer the radio?
pardon?
Maybe I didn't hear this, and I'm sure that Griff has the wherewithal to have asked in character. But when we were in orbit, why didn't they answer the radio?
I believe they were on an automatic or repeated what's the term, distress signal, right?
You did find that out during when you found it, that the distress signal was repeating itself.
Right. I don't think we had a clear answer, but the set of them would probably be either A, no one's there to respond, or B, their ability to respond is impaired
Okay.
because of the damage.
So I thought you went to a city. And a whole city of people couldn't answer a radio?
Oh yeah,
Wait, are you talking about the colony ship, or?
I'm talking about anybody here on the planet. We hailed the planet.
Oh, over at like the construction area thing.
Anybody on this planet. All I know is that you went to a city.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, the place where we landed and did the transaction you're talking about, right?
No, I'm just
No,
talking
he
about
went
right
about
now.
the-
You go to a city of people. Why did nobody
Yeah,
on this planet answer a radio transmission? Did you not ask?
Probably don't have a ship.
A radio. All they need is a radio. A ham
What are they
means
going to
radio.
do to help it out of orbit?
They don't.
No, he's on about. Hold on. He's on about when you guys arrived to this planet. You sent out a general like network ping, and no one responded to it at all. He's on about how the fact that there's a whole city of people, and it's weird that they didn't respond.
Oh, right. Yeah, that, I don't know. I'll look over to Kane and go, it's like, do they not monitor any channel or anything?
Would that
Kane.
be a no
Yes.
question?
Yeah,
No
that would be.
intelligence?
Yep. What did you get?
6.
A 6. Generally, the city runs on somewhat of a closed system, so they ignore most out of city messages because of the people who live outside of the walls are undesirable.
Ah, right, they're jerks. That makes sense.
Jilthar Federation, textbook villains, everyone. Alright, sorry, 1 moment.
That's what they have when you enter the system. There's like a giant sign, like, welcome to the Jewelthar Federation. Get out of here.
I mean, that's pretty much what you guys had as a introduction to them, wasn't it? It was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
don't fucking come near us, you Xeno scum.
Yeah, harshly xenophobic.
But yes, the mechanic now looks to you, Jimmy, and says, "Oh, you're back. Did you get one? Did you get a stabilizer for me?"
Got one right here.
He kind of like runs up to you, and Kane, you see a very small boy, very
Very.
sorry, very thin, scrawny.
He's wearing two
I
giant green Hulk hands on either.
I kind of run up to Jimmy Regan and take this very large piece of machinery. Actually, it's about the length of a keyboard. It's about the length of a keyboard, but of course it's like made of full steel, so it's very heavy.
And when he grabs it, you hear this disembodied voice say, "Hulk smash!"
And then he carries it back over to his little entrance port on the engine, very slowly with a lot of effort. Ding, ding, ding. But other than that, he climbs back in and begins working. After a few moments,
Alright.
he stops. He stops and leans out and says, "Oh yeah, I should have this thing operational in about 2 or 3 days."
Oh, days.
Yeah, it seems that those bandits really went to work on the engine. I think they've just kind of thrown a knife in here and rattled it around.
You know,
Or
that's what I thought too, but actually, a friend here tells me that the bugs on this planet are called rippers. They actually quite like these things. I think that's caused most of our damage.
what?
They're like little bugs. That's what the clouds were, I
There,
think.
there's bugs in the engine.
Well, someone came back and told you about the clouds at least, right? And no one, they didn't just leave you out of the loop? Okay, so there's these big clouds of bugs. They eat metal. I think they fuck with the engines. We really got to make sure there's not more engine damage in there where they wiggled in.
Oh, that's bad.
I know, right? It's kind of terrible. But you can have this up in just a couple days, right?
I'll work faster. Thank you for telling me. And you see he just closes the access port, and you hear a lot of banging and whirling. But other than that, it's back over to you guys. What do you guys wish to do as I believe Orb of One's still cutting up this door?
Well, looking at Kane and his friend, I forgot his name again.
Leonardo.
Leonardo. Well, you guys got a car, and we got a ship that's stuck on the sand. We do need to unbury it a little bit. Do you think that car has enough horsepower to actually, shove our ship around a little bit, and at least get it flat on the sand instead of dug in?
Leonard gives you a bit of a look and says, "Well, I've modded the ship out with a lot of powers, so I might be able to."
Well, I think that's worth a shot, especially if we give everyone a little warning first about what we're about to do. Because if we do that, the space and the repairs go through, we should be up and flight worthy in no time, really.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I can give it a try if you want. That's if you want to do it now, or do you want to do it later, or when do you want to do it?
Well, I don't really see any point in waiting, I don't think. We may as well try it now. Unless someone smarter than me had something to say like, oh, maybe it might sink right back into the sand, or no, that's not how unburying this thing will happen. I don't think I have anything. Well, actually, I actually have the knowledge skill. I should roll this.
Go ahead.
So how good of a plan is this? Alright, no bonus. 8.
I think just rolling on your own knowledge skill doesn't tell us how good a plan it is. I think it tells us how good a plan you think it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Of course, all my plans are great, but this one's really good, I swear.
No, it'll just sink back into the sand, or that's not how it. I say that to you in your own voice.
It seems like a decent plan. I mean, it's going to be hard to like pull a ship out. It's probably mostly going to be a job of. You think it's probably mostly going to be a job of digging the engines of the ship out and letting the rest take course.
Right, but it should be able to just end up sitting flat by the end without having to power anything on, right?
Wait, did we crash ass first?
No, nose first.
Well, then our ass is hanging out in the air. We don't have to unbury the engines.
Um, if you take a look at the picture on Stellar Constellation, you have wing engines as well. So the entrance to the engines themselves, the atmosphere engines that you would use when you're on a planet, would be buried in dust. Or buried in sand, sorry.
Right.
It can take off. You would just risk damaging it and, not taking off because you fucked the engine.
Right. So here's our first phase of the plan of making sure that we are able to take off whenever we're repaired. So everything seems good. I'm plotting it out in my head, giving directions, and we'll see how well that goes.
Okay. See, it's hard to do anything without Lady Demitalia here, because she's the thinker, and she makes all the decisions for you guys. And I've kind of gotten used to her being here.
Well, I mean, I have leadership, and I'm smarter. I'm just not the talker.
Also, not a noble.
This is also true.
I'm also not tied exonerably to your family. I know, that doesn't mean anything to you, but me as a player, I have set this whole thing up, and now I fucked myself.
I mean, you could always just give yourself the general breathing room of, like, allowed to help out others who are trying to help out Vespasia.
Yeah, well, you remember... Sorry, I'm gonna step back for a moment here. You remember the Cyberpunk game where I came up with this whole org chart about how my character thinks?
I don't remember that part, actually.
I thought I shared it with you, where I made the robot character and I made an org chart where I would go down this organizational tree of, does this fit this? Does it fit this? Yes. If so, yes, then do this action. If it doesn't, go back around, come up with a new idea. I got an org chart kind of thing for this too. That's why I keep not doing anything. I keep getting stuck in a logic loop of, no, can't do it. No, can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, literally, it's like, alright, how many steps are in this chart? 1. What's the step? Protect Vespasia. Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's more like, sorry, I don't have it open right now because she's not here to make me do things. It's more like, does my action cause Vespasia harm? If yes, come up with a new thing. No, move on to next step. Next step, does my inaction cause Vespasia harm or lead to her harm in some other way? If yes, move back to first step. If no, it goes on like that. It's a looping
Right.
logic grid where at the last
Right,
step.
this is where Vespasia would be nice to just say that it is okay to go outside and push the ship for a few seconds and then come back inside.
I mean, yeah, she wouldn't object to that, I don't think. You're a big ass robot, man.
Yeah, no, she's constantly sending me away. It's just that she has to be here to do that. Otherwise, I fall
don't-
back to my own programming. Well, not programming. I fall back to my own logic tree, which is stay nearby, make sure harm doesn't fall to Vespasia. I'm like an NHP in Lancer.
Well, even without that, we do still have the car, we do still have Crabman, and we do still have at least a good handful of people who could make up for one large robot, probably. So literally, if we all get out and push, we could probably do this.
So you're saying I'm equivalent to all of you.
You could say it's all over one.
What?
Well, no, you would say it the other way if it was a compliment. I've been named this as an insult by Vespasia. Because it used to be one overall, which is me above everybody else, but Vespasia's like, no, that doesn't make sense. We're all above you. And since I'm so dedicated to this, I changed my name.
But I think with that plan set in motion, so I get the time to write up exactly what's going to happen and come up with some form of everything. Without Vespasia here, I don't want to make too much progress with you guys getting. I don't want to like get you guys off the planet, and then she comes back. It's like, oh yeah, we're in sector A3 now. We've met the Triglons, and I don't. I don't want
By
them
the
to come
way,
back.
the last ship exploded, and we don't know if you got off in time, and we've just been assuming the whole time that maybe you were with us, but it's time to make some rolls to live.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want to do that to a character. So that is where I'm going to call it to a close for today.
Yeah, this is some good spot right here. We came to a mutual agreement instead of, say, shooting each other for scrap. We have an upcoming mission. We have upcoming cargo. We have an arena we can still go to.
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend the arena.
Though, now that I think about it, the longer we stay here, the more I'll have to think about, like, well, we probably need to get some food while we're here. Which I think was also the plan at some point, but it got derailed a little.
Yeah, it did get derailed. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that arc, Lloyd. It wasn't a very eventful session. I apologize.
I enjoyed it.
Right. Well, we took him away from like possible enemy to possible friend, so I think that's like an accomplishment role playing, right? Wise.
Mm. I hope I'm setting up this planet as like fucking weird as it's planned to
Oh
be.
yeah, yeah. It's a little weird. Everything is apparently everything's a human hybrid. That's a little weird. Some of them are animals. That's extra weird. And of course, the xenophobes are here, and they're just weird on their own.
Mm.
And you haven't even heard the big thing from Kane yet.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're waiting to hear the reveal, and when your dark past catches up to you, and you're asked to pay back what you owe, and your lost love asks why you left, and
If only we still had Rabbit here, it would have been revealed already.
oh no, I read his mind. What is he thinking?
What are we gonna do about his character, by the way? What are we saying happens there?
Died in
He
the
just died in
crash.
the crash? Yeah, that works.
Mysteriously vanished into the desert on a vision quest. I don't know.
I had a really cool backstory built. I've got like a
It
whole
seemed like there was cool stuff for it too.
I've got a whole section of the Jilthar Federation dedicated to his character. So
I mean, it's still there to be used for when we need to, say, smuggle in specialized drugs to whatever weird experiments they're doing, I guess.
Hmm. But yeah, thank you for coming, guys. As always,
Yeah. Thank you for running.
I
We'll
will
get a full crew going once and for all eventually.
eventually. But I'll talk to you guys next week. Well, I'll
Alrighty.
talk to you guys throughout the week, but I'll see you guys next week.
Alright. See y'all
See you
later.
then.